how many of you seen the movie Transformers? Okay, so the ones who haven't, it's a classic movie about good versus evil, but American style, which means there are good robots fighting the bad robots. But that's not what I'm going to tell you about. The key concept of this movie that I want you to focus on is that there are robots that can transform themselves into everyday machines. So you have a cell phone which can transform itself into a robot when it receives a spark. And it can then transform itself into a car, or it can transform itself back into a robot. And all this when they receive a spark. So what happens if we had discovered a spark like this for cells in our body? So if we can transform cells from like heart cells to brain cells to skin cells, all by using a spark. In fact, recently scientists have been able to discover such a spark. Only in the case of cells, these are known as transcription factors. And by providing these factors, cells can be transformed from one form to another. And how exactly does this happen? To tell you that, let me take you back to the very beginning of life, to the origin of life. So when a sperm and an egg come together, they form a single cell. That's the beginning of all our lives. This is what we looked at like in the beginning of life. And when this cell divides, it forms a mass of several cells. So this is what a mass of cells looks like. And these cells are very, very special. These are known as pluripotent cells because they have the potential to become any cell type in the body. They can express brain-specific factors and become brain cells. They can express muscle-specific factors and become muscle cells, or skin-specific factors and become skin cells. And for a long time, scientists have known these factors and how to convert pluripotent cells into all the cell types. But what was not known if it was possible to make these specialized cells back into pluripotent cells. And this is a very difficult challenge because we have always believed that development is a one-way process. It's like a one-way street. But now scientists have discovered a combination of 4 factors. When you provide these factors to the specialized cells, they can go back to the pluripotent cell state. And then you can divert them into any other cell form. Now, why is this important? Why would you want to convert one cell type to another? Of course, playing transformers with cells is very exciting, but the most important thing is that, for example, if a patient has brain damage and our brain cannot repair itself, you can take cells from the skin of this patient, convert them into pluripotent cells, and then convert them back into brain cells, which can be used to replace the cells that the patient has lost. So these cells have a lot of potential for therapy, and hence, these cells can be used for curing diseases.